friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are doing a video inspired by Andrea Tran, and she talked about 5 Chanel items I would repurchase if, heaven forbid, I had to rebuild my entire Chanel makeup collection. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. So as many of you may know, I now have an online beauty consulting service, which is where you get to talk to me one-on-one virtually and pick my brain. You can ask me anything beauty related, whether you want advice about the current makeup you already own, or if you're thinking of buying some new products and you don't want that added sales pressure. The benefit of my service is I work for myself. I don't work for any brand in particular, so I'll just give you my unbiased advice. So to make an appointment, click the link in the description box down below. Okay, so this video is 5 items I would run out and repurchase if for some reason I lost my entire Chanel makeup collection, which is quite extensive, but let's say, knock on wood, heaven forbid, something happened and I had to go buy 5 new items. Which ones would they be? So I think for me, the first item that I thought of, the first reflex, is the Water Fresh Tint, and I wear the shade medium. Now, if you look at the bottle, it looks like little bubbles of pigment suspended in water. And when you look at a pump of the product, you still see these little spheres of pigment in this jelly water-like substance. And it's only when you start pressing it into the hand or into the skin that it dissolves and melts together. This really is a skin tint more than a foundation. It's incredibly lightweight. It feels like a glass of water for your face, and it also gives you almost like an Instagram filter. It gives you this really soft blur, and it definitely gives you that your skin but better. You never look cakey with this. I don't think it's possible because it's so sheer and lightweight. I love to use this as a skin tint or a foundation, even though it's extremely lightweight, but sometimes I can use it as a primer under a foundation if I want to add a boost of hydration and just blur out my imperfections a little bit. But I just think it's a really, really beautiful complexion product. So if I had to run into a Chanel counter or a store to rebuild my kit, this would be the first thing I would get. Next up would be a lipstick, and this is the Rouge Coco Flash Formula, number 82, Live or Live. So this is in fact what I'm wearing today. And for me, this is the most beautiful nude. It's not too pink, not too red, not too peachy. It just really is the most flattering my lip color, but better. And the fact that it's the glossy flash formula makes my lips look a little bit more plump. The oils in the product here also are very hydrating. So when I wear this lipstick, I often won't reapply chapstick in between applications. I will just go in directly with the lipstick here because it's hydrating enough on its own. I know that the Rouge Coco Bloom formula is newer than the Flash formula, but I think I prefer the Flash formula. I like how glossy it is, I like how hydrating it is, and I also like the shade range better in the Flash formula. I find that the Bloom formula is much more red based, and for more nudie pink shades, you're better off going with Flash. So this would be my second pick. Next up would be eyeshadow, of course, and this is the Tissé Rivoli Quad. So the Tissé formula is this baked satiny finish that's really beautiful. If you look up close, they look like these little baked mounds of eyeshadow, and they all have this satiny finish. I think the swatches on my hand look a little bit more purple, but on me they look more brown with like maybe a hint of purple, but purple is not the main takeaway when I wear this. What I like is that you get a variety of satin finishes. You do get some that are more intense and more shimmery, but you also get ones that are more subtle. So if you want an eyeshadow look that can go from very subtle, just like a wash of color, to more of a smoky, deep look, you get that variety. And because it's a satin finish, it kind of just elevates and adds a little bit of a glisten to your look without necessarily going into the chunky glitter family or category. It just makes your eyes look sparkly and awake, and I think that Tissé Rivoli is just a really good staple. It's a good workhorse palette because you are in the more neutral family. You can go in with the lighter colors, you can do something more medium or more deep, and you're just going to have a really good workhorse eyeshadow palette from Monday to Friday to the weekends. It's just going to be very versatile. Okay, so next item for me would be a blush, and this would have to be number 80, Jersey. To me, this is a perfect blend of a bronzer and blush color. It gives you a very natural hue. It's almost like your cheek color, but better. It's slightly peachy, but it doesn't really have any pink or red. It really just looks like if you had a really lovely bronzer without any hint of orange and added just like a little bit of a peach and a little bit of a satin finish that makes it look just really healthy. I am wearing a little bit of highlighter on top here, but even if you just wear the blush, it doesn't have a chunky glitter finish. It's really just like a soft satiny finish, so it just gives you that healthy looking glow, like you just take really good care of your health and you went for a really nice walk and maybe you just got like a little bit of a flush. It's just a really natural blush, and I find that Jersey is also just one of those blushes that goes with a lot of different looks. So if I was looking for one blush to get me through a little bit of a stretch, if I had no other Chanel blushes in my collection, Jersey would be my go-to because it just looks so natural. Speaking of so natural, I have here one of my original Chanel makeup pieces that I got when I first got into Chanel makeup, and this is the Les Beiges Healthy Glow Sheer Powder in number 50. So this I use as a bronzer, and the Les Beiges Healthy Glow Sheer formula, it really gives you that healthy look. And what I like about this formula is that the word sheer is very appropriate, but you can build it up. So I find with this here, there is zero hint of any orange. It's my bronzer today. And you really can go from a super sheer, lightweight, little sun-kissed whisper of bronzer to something more intense. Sometimes some bronzers out there, if you just touch your brush to the bronzer, you get a lot of pigment and you really have to blend and work really hard to blend it out. This, I've never experienced that. It really is more sheer and healthy looking, like a glow. So you can build it up very easily. You can go darker with this, but I just find that you have lots of control over the finish and the formula, so you will never look orange or overly tanned. And as you can see from the pan, it has been very well loved, and I'm still using it even though it looks a little bit rough. Now, I know that Dre only said 5 items, but I have a couple like honorable mentions that I just want to throw out there. So another item that I would collect or repurchase if I had to rebuild my entire collection here would be the Les Beiges Healthy Glow Sheer Powder in number 20. And this is my face powder. So this is the same family as the bronzer, except much lighter. And for me, this is a really beautiful powder over top of anything, but especially over the Water Fresh tint. It's very sheer and lightweight, and it never looks dry or cakey. It doesn't settle into fine lines. It doesn't pick up on anything. It's just this like soft little whisper of powder. And if I want to add a little bit more coverage to my Water Fresh tint, I usually will go into a Les Beiges powder just to enhance the coverage a little bit more, because it does cover somewhat, not a whole lot, but just enough if I'm feeling like I want a little bit more coverage, or if it's a really hot day and I don't want my makeup to shift around everywhere, I will go into this powder here. And last but not least, because I am Ally, I am extra, and I'm also a nail polish fanatic, I would have to get another nail polish because I have a very extensive Chanel nail polish collection on top of everything else. So I would have to get at least one nail polish, and I would go with Arancio Vibrante number 634. In my opinion, a Chanel nail polish is always classic, but especially a red nail polish. And this is a fiery orangey red, which I think is perfect for the warmer summer months. I think that some of my selections here today may be influenced by the warmer summer months, but specifically this nail color here. I just think it's such a classic red. It's a staple, it's timeless, and it also lasts at least a week, 7, 8, 9 days, depending on my week. So this would have to be an item that I would frantically be reaching for at the Chanel counter. I certainly hope I never have to rebuild my entire collection from scratch, knock on wood, but I wanted to throw something out there. So hopefully in the near future, we all get to go traveling and shopping duty-free. Because have you ever had a Chanel item that's been discontinued, or an old formula you're trying to get your hands on? Do you know where is a good place to get those secret hidden items? Duty-free. A lot of items get sent to duty-free, and because they have, like, there's a lot of people that go through airports and duty-free, but they don't necessarily go specifically for one counter. They often get items that were not sold in store, and so they just get sent and shipped to the airport. So hopefully in the near future, we will be able to travel and shop through duty free, because I have a sneaking suspicion that there are a lot of older formulas that we've loved, that we don't love the new formulas of, where these items are just hanging out in duty free. So that's going to be my #1 priority once I get to travel again. Okay, so I think I have to cut myself off because I could keep adding honorable mentions or whatever. So this is it. These are the items I would repurchase if I had to rebuild my entire Chanel collection from scratch. Let me know, what would your 5 items be? If you could only pick 5 to rebuild, what would they be? Sound off down below. If you're new to my channel, I hope you take the time to subscribe, and you can also hit that notification bell on the side to be notified whenever I post a new video. So I think this is it for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.